You're probably wondering what's going on here with regards to that forklift. Yes, I've changed my mind. I've decided there was too much work trying to repair the pantec box, and I pulled the trigger, rang around for some quotes, not that you can get many in Perth, and found a supplier that was willing to do a reasonable deal, and here we are picking up the panels. But obviously before all that had to happen, I had to use my truck to go and pick these panels up, and I decided I wanted the box to be slightly taller with a bit more headroom, and therefore they weren't going to fit into the pantec box as it stood. So I spent quite some time modifying this pantec box, and you'll see in the next few clips I removed the roof braces, removed the actual aluminium roof panel, and actually chopped the box in the back left hand corner to make an opening so that we could try and get these panels in diagonally from obviously one corner to the other. That was the only way they were going to fit within that pantec box, and have the hydraulic door or platform closed for the road trip. Bear in mind I live about 500 kilometers north of Perth, and that's quite a long journey, so that's 1,000 k's there and back with these panels in this box. So there was quite a few modifications that had to be done, including some cross bracing and a few other bits and pieces just to make the box's integrity as solid as possible for the journey. And that's what I set about doing, and you'll see with some of the still pictures that I've got up for that I took on the way down, the little bits and pieces of the modifications. So off I set to Perth. This is an image of me fueling up halfway down to Perth, but it also was an opportunity to try out my veggie oil system. So I took 100 litres of veggie oil in a remote tank, and at this point I thought, you know what, I'm going to now pump it into the the veggie tank that's on the left hand side of the truck, and start using it through the Polac valve and all the systems that I set up. If you're not sure of, or you're new to this channel, there is a video, I can't remember what episode it is, I haven't made that many episodes, but it shows and explains how I set up my veggie oil system. So have a look at that one, that'll explain what I've done there. More shots of that cross brace and that split of the pantec truck back end, and it's still holding together really well, so I was very happy with that. Bearing in mind I put, I think it was 5 M16 bolts right through it, hold it together. Arriving at the composite panel manufacturer, and I've in the process of taking that little panel out, unbolting it, and then eventually that cross brace that you see there, the grey one, actually comes out as well, leaving a big open corner, if you like, which is where we slid the panels in. And here's the small video footage of the panels being picked up. I wish I had suction cups like this going forward to take these panels off the truck when I got home, because they were quite a handful to maneuver. The largest one being 5 meters by 2.5. So, and that was the roof panel at 50 mil thick. That was a mission to get off. I had to eventually get a load of mates to help me out with that one. But this machine and the forklift makes the whole thing look so simple. And in fact, the big panel went in first, and it went straight over the top of the pantec truck. The forklift actually lifted straight up at a diagonal and then straight down. I thought we were going to slide them in, but no, that's how we did them. I think the last panel had to be slid in. These are some images of me going home. You can see the panel sticking out in the top left hand corner, and a couple of images of the cross braces that I've had to do to hold this pantec truck together. There's one at the front there on the left, one in the back which you can't see. I'm also got all the extrusions that I took with me, that I bought in Perth and had delivered to the composite truck manufacturer. Back home I managed to get mates Mick, Ron and Ross unload these panels, and we use big plastic PVC pipes to roll them off the back and onto the platform. I thought I had some footage of that because it was quite comical. especially with some of the gusts of winds, but I haven't got any and I can't find where I've put them. Maybe it was on a friend of mine's phone or something, but I can't remember where they are now. But anyway, they were off, you can see them in the foreground, and then what I did was set about bringing down the old pantec box and taking all the panels off. I don't want to destroy it. I had to cut some stuff with a big old Bertha there that you can see, but I wanted to save as many as the panels that I could, because I felt like it would have been a waste of money, I guess. This is the primary reason why I changed my mind. As I started looking into the extrusion panels on the outside, which sandwich the honeycomb panels to the steel work, which you can see folded there, which is 3mm thick, that was so badly battered from years of forklifts and I guess pallet trucks hitting it constantly, that I could not get them to rivet tight to the composite panels from the inside, which meant I would have had to take the composite panels off anyway and then deal with the steel work and maybe cut out and splice some new parts in, which is what I started to do. And then I realized this is a major task. And I thought, well, if I'm going to dismantle this whole box, I need to rethink my options. And this is how I eventually bit the bullet and decided I'm going to have to start from scratch. And the only thing I could salvage really was the base of the whole pantec truck, which was very, very solid, probably too solid, but that was a good thing, not a bad thing. And that's what I did. I basically cut all the steel work off, got rid of all the panels, and started with a clean slate, which was the base of the pantec truck. But that left me with two beds. So I had the one that's off the fire truck, which was sitting on my driveway, and the one that I've just sorted out on the back of the truck. I then proceeded to play a game of musical truck beds and move things around, so I had a little bit more space on my driveway to work on the new pantec bed. I also managed to get a buyer for the other fire truck bed, which was really good, and it pretty much paid for a quarter of all the money I spent on the lift mechanism and the new pantec truck box itself. So that was a win. And in the next few clips I'll be showing you what and how I did that on my own, and it was quite a bit of fun, I can tell you. What I'm attempting to do today is to try and, on my own, is to try and get this tray, the old one, using my engine lift and the lift on the back of the truck. I'm going to attempt to put it on that bed and then maneuver that whole bed, obviously with the truck, this bed on the truck, and move it somewhere out the way so I can put the new bed in its place so I can work on that. Problem is, this thing weighs a ton. I'm on my own and I'm not sure how far I'm going to get with this. This is heavy. The other one isn't so bad. And eventually I'm going to put it here somewhere out the way, but not too close to the panels there, so I can get to those panels later. I'm going to take all the metalwork off there, lift those up, put them on here next to these, clear the space here, and try and move it out of the way using the truck and the tail lift. We shall see. Ramp, so we're up above that trestle table, but ideally I want it over onto the bed to be safe, I'd like to get at least halfway past the middle section. I don't want to rely too much on the engine lift. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use this little winch that I've got. I'm going to bolt it to that plate and try and skull drag it back as far as it will go. That's the next step. See how that goes. So you can see I've got some very strong plastic rollers, which is starting to be inclining on here. Put it on the back of there. I have to say this is very scary. This thing, I don't know what it weighs, but it's heavy, and I just want to get it on the truck now. Up a bit more. Whoa. I think we've got to slide it on a bit more before we raise it. I'm going to put the camera down and focus. It's too dodgy. We've moved it from here to there. So now what I'm intending to do is to unload it, which is not really that easy. So here she is, as far as I can get back. If I got enough room to get out, who knows, at least it's going to be out my way. There's enough access either side, so let the manoeuvring commence. Maybe I can get it done by the end of the day. Ciao. Back at it. Yesterday I spent the whole day refabricating these legs that I made before to lift the old tray down there. Looks like we've cleared everything, thank God. Part of my mouth job. And we're going to clear the ramp. Yeah. So, steady as she goes, I think. Now I can feel safe. These trestle tables have proven themselves before, so yeah, quite confident being underneath them. But anyway, let's get the other one placed in the right place and lower it down on my trusty little jacks. Truck's naked again. Give an opportunity to get it clean and do some bits and pieces that I forgot to do before. Anyway, let's finish this off.